Well, hello and welcome to Thortography on YouTube. I'm so glad you stopped in. It's a Fuji Friday. That means we get to talk about Fuji products and tips and tricks and things like that. This week Fuji announced that they were going to be upgrading the firmware for a couple of their cameras, including the X-T2, and that makes me very excited. The firmware of the camera is sort of the software that goes into making the camera run and work. And with this update, an upgrade to the firmware, there's a number of enhanced features that I don't necessarily want to get into right now, but I do want to show you how to go about updating the firmware for your Fuji X-T2. So stay tuned, here we go. So the first thing you want to do is get a blank SD card and format it. Make sure that it's blank because there's nothing sadder than formatting a card that has things on it. And make sure that you have a fresh battery. So put a new battery inside of there, and then we'll pull our SD card out and we'll go to the computer and I'll show you what to do next. So what you do is you navigate to the Fujifilm website that includes all the camera listings, and then you find the camera that you want to upgrade the firmware for. In my case, that's a Fuji X-T2, and I click firmware download, and that will take me to the detail page for the firmware. And there's all kinds of things that you can read on here about what the firmware includes, and summary of how to do this, which I'm showing you right now, some precautions, a license agreement, and then you have the button down here in the bottom that says I agree and I begin download. You press that. I've already done that and I have set it on my desktop. So here I have my SD card in my SD card slot in my computer. I take the file here and I drag it in onto my SD card, copy that over. So once you look at your card, there's a data file on here that you will see. So next we will put the SD card back into the camera. And shut that door, make sure it's secure. And we'll press display back and then turn on the camera. And you'll see the upgrade firmware message. It tells you what lens version you have. And then you press OK and you select the body. And you say OK. And it gives you another warning to make sure you have a good battery and don't turn off your camera. And then you step away for a little while. And when you come back, you should have a message that says firmware upgrade, and you can turn your camera off. And then you can again press display back and turn the camera on. And it'll show you which lens version and body version you have. And that should show your upgrade there. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that that was clear about the steps to go through to upgrade your camera. Certainly read through the information that's on Fuji's site and make sure that you are sure that you have a charged battery when you do your firmware update. And I'm going to sure look forward to those features that will enhance the camera and see how they work to make it better. Be sure to subscribe and invite a friend, and if you have a question, submit it. Or if you have an idea or a way of doing things better, I'd love to hear it. Leave a comment below, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.